Hello everyone, this is another tutorial for Minecraft. This tutorial will focus on mob traps, and that's lava there. Yes, if you look up at the top left corner, you'll notice I'm running on the new version right now. And, hey cow, die. Haha, got your loot. Yeah, it's got some bugs, it's got some weird things going with it, with especially water physics, when water doesn't work right, and you know, trying to go to full screen, it did a little something weird where my world reverted back to before I had saved, which, you know, that's okay, but my character inventory had updated, so I had an extra 2 buckets of lava, and it was a little weird because, you know, I hadn't picked that one back up, but my character had lava on me again. So, yeah, it happens. It's not crippling, and, well, overall, it's okay. Several people had asked for a tutorial on how to make a mob killer trap, or you know, what type of mob killer traps I use. And, well, this will probably be a multi-part series here from me. This one will just focus on a simple design I like to call Mob Killer 2. Mob Killer 1 was this gigantic trap underground that I had made that was really just copied off someone else's. If I have time, I'll have a link, you know, at the bottom of the screen here, for everyone, so they can see, you know, the source I was basing it on. It has its problems. It has dead zones in the design, but you know, overall, if you just are willing to wait long enough, you'll have all the stuff you need. And well, it gave me a metric ton of gunpowder. But MK2 is my own design here. It's rather simple, you know, bare bones, but it's extensible, and it's also available to be built underground, so long as you're willing to do the digging to create it. I made it up here, and I made it out of dirt because, you know, it's expediency, and dirt's easier to work with than stone. You would probably want to make it out of something like cobblestone, smooth stone, obsidian, just about anything but dirt, because dirt will have, you know, grass probably will grow in there. You know, there's probably some grass in there already, and it'll spawn farm animals and such in there, so you can get a lot of extra drops that you may not care about. And since this is about mob killing and not actual farm animal killing, because they probably take about no skill to kill, you probably don't need this for killing farms. Although if we get bacon spawners, you might want to maybe make one of these for that. Maybe. Primary thing is that this is a drown type trap. So down there's going to be a point at which mobs cannot go because it's 1 block high, and yet it's still underwater. So they'll be stuck there and they'll just drown, and their drops, which are 1 block high naturally, will come in and get in the water and flow down. And I made this trap, then, you know, went to take a shower, and then was going to come back and show you guys. And I had one of those, you know, classical guy things in the shower, an aha moment, you know, just one of those, sitting on the toilet, came up with something. And that's what this thing over here was. I was experimenting with trying to make a cross flow so that I can maybe, you know, reduce this down to just 1 block so that I can get all my drops into just a 1 block flow of water, and then just pipe that to wherever I wanted to go. Which, you know, it's easy. Hold on here a sec. My mouse is spazzing. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, just stopped recording there for a second because I got cat hair on my mouse. Die, sheep. Die in the fires of my diamond shovel. But crossflows, die, you bastard chicken. Playing with crossflows to try and get it so that you can have items drop down to 1 reduced thing. But then I realized I already know how to do something like that. I just wasn't applying myself. And we'll go ahead and build that right now for you so you can see what I'm talking about. You notice how this water comes up to this edge, but doesn't flow into this block. Why? Because water will only flow 8 blocks, and that's pretty much how it is and how it's been for a while. So if I dig here, you notice the water doesn't fall off. But we'll also notice an interesting fact when I take some of the sand I just got, chuck a block. Now watch the block. It's going to come up, blink, and it falls down. And that got me thinking once I realized that I already know how to do something like this. And you all are probably guessing what I'm going to do right here. Go down here. It's one of the things that water physics has gotten a little weird, and that placing a water source block has gotten annoying sometimes. Ugh, I hate Ice World sometimes. Should I put this up here, put that up there, put that sucker there, and it'll melt in a second. And basically that block is only going to flow down because it can't flow up, and it's going to flow down that way. And so any drop up here, it's going to flow to the ice block. Maybe I should break this sucker. Break! Any drop that I put in there is going to go there and flow down, which means that you could say, you notice how this building here that I made out of dirt, I know, you know, maybe it extends over there and has another similar flowing track out. And then you can have that all flow in there. So you can have 2 rooms, you know, almost 3 rooms worth with only 2 drown tanks worth of mob killing action, you know. And I got to thinking, why stop there? Why not have this just like a slice of a building and build another slice and another slice? And in a future video, I will show you a completed version of that, which I think will be awesome, because I also am planning to actually use some of the obsidian I've managed to make through my travels, and maybe make some cool shit that looks awesome on the side of the building. But enough with this plumbing crap here, you know. You can get the general gist of how it works. As soon as the blocks go, they flow, and there you go. An easy way to make an extension. The only trick is you need to be 8 blocks from the source blocks, or 8 blocks from wherever they fall down, so that you can actually get this nice, you know, drop in there without altering this flow down here. Pick that back up. Never want to waste some sand. Now let's go up here and actually see the innards of this building. Now it is lit up right now, and I haven't actually been using it to farm any mobs, because, you know, I literally just built it a little bit ago. And here is one of the important parts that I was experimenting with. Now my other designs, I simply had this large water net that would catch stuff. I didn't really think about how the hydraulics of that water net worked, and how it really affected anything. So here, let's pick this water up. And you also notice that this actually technically becomes an infinite spring as long as you only grab from the middle block. And, you know, getting rid of these extra blocks is always annoying. Just put that there for now, because, you know, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, let's come up here and grab this last block. And you also notice how the weirdness of that physics there, you know. And I'll just show it to you for a second here. This is a weird thing that's happened since the new update. Before, if I put a source block there, it would split down there and also split over here, and then it would flow down. Or maybe it would go over there. But all the flow would kind of be going over the edge, and it would be covering every one of these blocks from just that one block. So it would have been good enough. Hell, I would have just placed one there and called this part of it done, because it doesn't really need to go much farther because of the plumbing underneath. But it just flows over one block, so it's odd. You know, you can get around it just by placing 3 blocks or 2 blocks on the edges, and it's just kind of annoying to have to deal with, you know, weird things like that. But let's just light this down here so you can see what it is. It's just basically a simple drop down. This would be too small for even spiders to get into, and so, you know, building some type of spider filter would be an important thing to do. Just bust through here, come out like that. And another thing you may want to try and do is maybe put glass blocks or something starting here and go into here across, just so that there's another block rating where, you know, stuff, if it could possibly get in through here, there's even less chance of getting in through here. Maybe just continue that across until you get up to over here, just so that there's this sheet of 1 block high, because the drops will still flow no matter what you do down. But, you know, mobs, I doubt a mob would be able to go up there, come down here, get through all this, and get underneath that glass just long enough to get over here and die doing the same damn thing. But, you know, it could happen. You know, you can never plan for absolutely every contingency. And again, have to reiterate, don't make one of these out of dirt unless you're planning on getting farm animal drops as well, because it'll happen. Now let's just go back up there and see, this is a separate actual conveyor portion right here. Then the other one, you could theoretically drop it down 1 block and just continue the source blocks up there to use. Damn it, get up this ladder. Just continue the source blocks from your drop up here but you know, I choose to have it as a second conveyor segment because I like to build stuff a little modular, and I don't like to have to rely on, you know, getting these positioned just right and making sure they hit just right down there. I want to make sure that I can get the stuff down there extended if need be infinitely. Because I also plan this to, you know, be as long as you could theoretically want it. You could have this thing way the heck and gone down and just have your conveyors link up. You know, maybe a conveyor that links up to the bottom of a drop tank somewhere so that you can, say, have an extended grid of these buildings. So, you know, this design is very extensible if you want to have multiple mob killing zones. And my design would actually be just one gigantic floor, and then you have underneath that the sort of drop tank killing floor, which is just walls and walls on another side of the drop tanks that all flow into a central corridor in which you would just have a come by, maybe just a train that would go by and pick up drops or something, or you just stand in there, farm, craft, do whatever, you know, make it part of your base. So you can just have this killing factory right next to your base. Now let's just get these hydraulics restarted. And that's good enough. You'd want to get a third water block there just to make sure that you get a nice even flow across, but you know, just as long as that third line of water is active, it's fine. Because once it gets down there and hits the bottom, doesn't matter where the source blocks up there are, it'll all flow into a nice straight line. You can see that just the texture shows it's straight. And so we know if we drop anything in that tank up there, it'll drop down, come down here, go down this line, come here. And you can just stand right here. And that's basically MK2. You know, MK2 is just my own little design here. One section of a much larger system, but it's the most important section. Now, one thing you gotta note when designing your own traps is, you know, if you're using a drop tank like this, the direction of the water when it's placed and when it starts flowing. Because the initial iteration I was creating this is, you know, I'd knocked these 3 blocks out and I was going to use those there to create a flowing waterfall effect, pretty much just like this. Or, you know, it was up here and create a flowing waterfall down, so, you know, it'd run into a wall of water and would just suck you down. However, I noticed something interesting. Every time I'd run into the water when there's a wall of water like that, it would push me away. And I'm like, well, why? It just doesn't make some sense. And it comes into the water, even if it's flowing straight down, it knows which way in which it was spawned from. At least this is the way I kind of interpret that. And so it was literally pushing me away because it still had momentum and velocity going that direction. Doesn't matter, it could only go straight down, and thus only spread straight down. It still thought that it was moving that direction a little, which, you know, would kind of explain that. So when I step into this, it's immediately pushing me the other one, that way. And that's because it spawns and it's immediately flowing that direction. And so this, if you put it like this, so the water's flowing away from the monsters into the trap, you know, the monsters will have a much harder time trying to get out. I mean, it takes pretty much just holding the direction for me and jumping just to get out of that trap. And a monster won't be able to do that as effectively. In addition to that, if this is just no way out up here, he has nowhere else to go anyway. You know, and it just improves the speed of your killing trap. Now, I would seriously hope that this would be, you know, just big enough to kill a spider, but yeah, you definitely need some type of spider filter for this, whether you just have this weird line of lava going around here, so just perfectly aligned enough that any spider that would try and go in would just jump up and kill himself in lava. That'd probably be the way to do it. Again, this is just part 1 of monster traps, just to get something up. Yeah, my cat's just been having some medical problems. I've been trying to, you know, keep helping out. And you guys take care. See you guys next time.